Yo, what's up, people? Welcome back to another video. It's the Lucas and Eddie channel. Oh, hang on. Wait, whoa. Something happened here. Hang on. This is not how I expected the beginning of the video to start. Is everything good? Wait. Yeah, everything's good. Okay, so that's a bit of unexpected. So guys, like I said, welcome to the Lucas and Eddie channel. Today we're going to be doing Premier League predictions, match day 10. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Match day 10. It's going to be awesome. What a crazy match day last week. We had so many crazy matchups. And today we're going to be having, in this match day 10 this weekend, it's going to be even more crazy. I think we're going to get to the point where we're starting to see where teams will start to finish at the end of the season. I think around match day 10 is where you have like a rough idea where the team is going to finish. So I'm going to be. Anyway, this is getting into the video. So for the first match day, for the first match of match day 10, we have Brighton versus Leeds United. Let's talk about Brighton. What a crazy game over at Old Trafford. They lost 4-2 to Man United. It looks like they were back in the game. They scored 2 late goals, but then, of course, arguably Man United's best player this season, Bryan Mbeumo, scores an absolute first time hit goal to seal the game. I don't know who gave the assist. I can look at my notes here. Let's have a look. Aiden Heaven with an amazing assist as well. Crazy. Now Leeds, obviously they played first last match day. They played on Thursday. They played on Friday. They won 2-1 at home to West Ham. I'm going to get to West Ham in a bit. Who do I think will win this game? I think Leeds at home is they're a whole different team, but away from home, they look like an average relegation team trying to stay up and fight for relegation. I say Brighton to win 2-1. I think Brighton will just get it over the line. I think they will struggle. I know they're playing in Brighton at the Amex or the American Express Arena, whatever it's called. I think both of them is correct, but I think that is going to be the final result. So next up, it is Crystal Palace versus Brentford. So let's talk about Crystal Palace. Now, in the last match day, they actually lost 1-0 away to Arsenal at the Emirates. It was a good game. Of course, they had to beat Eze with an amazing goal. Absolutely amazing goal. I'm pretty sure it's one of the set piece as well. So these are set piece merchants. Corner FC, set piece FC. That's the only kind of goals they concede. Not conceding, but scoring. But I'll get to Arsenal in just a little bit. Also, Brentford got a very impressive 3-2 win at the GTEC Community Stadium against Liverpool to give them their 4th loss in a row. Like I said, I'm gonna touch on Liverpool more later on in this video, but obviously Brentford got a massive win. It's just like, I don't know if I can predict them to lose against. I'm gonna go with something a bit bold here. I'm gonna say it will end 2-2. I feel like Palace is slipping a bit ever since they got their first loss to Everton, but I think it's just gonna end 2-2, 2-2. Next is Burnley versus Arsenal. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about Arsenal. They are winning, But the thing that I'm worried about Arsenal is, well, I shouldn't be worrying too because I want them to do badly. Honestly, I want them to win the Premier League more than I want City to win it. But the thing is about Arsenal is that they don't score very goals, and the only way they've been trying. I can't remember last time they scored from open play, and honestly, so yeah. And now let's talk about Burnley. Burnley got a very not impressive, but a very must-need win against Wolves, a 3-2 win. Last minute winner from Isla Foster, I think the South African striker, came off the bench and scores a goal. Burnley are a different team at home. They're like Leeds. They're very compact, very defensive, very hard to. It's a very hard stadium to go to Turf Moor. What I think will win? I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to go with a 1-0 Arsenal win again. Boring. I feel like Arsenal are just going to win 1-0 every single match day into the final match day, and they will win the Premier League only winning 1-0. I know they got like a 5-2-1 or something again. They scored 5 goals against Nottingham Forest, I think they did, or against Leeds, I think, when they played them in the Emirates. But anyway, next up it is Fulham versus Wolves. Now this is a relegation battle. Let's touch on Fulham because they are the home side. They lost, I think. Yeah, they lost 2-1 to Newcastle. They did equalise, but they gone and concede again. So yeah, I think that's 4 defeats as well for. Yeah, so they're 17 for them, so they're not having a great season compared to last season. And then Wolves obviously not having a good season either. I think ever since Cunha left, it just went downhill. I think because when Cunha was in Wolves, they had someone to play for, someone who was a star player. But ever since they left, they've just been atrocious, I think. They haven't won a single game yet. They've drawn two, lost all of their games so far. Oh, both teams are not doing great, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Fulham. A 2-0 win for Fulham. I think it's going to... Oh, hang on a second. My phone is just going for some ads. Anyway. You see, I have my phone to check on the scores from last week, so I don't have to keep losing track. So anyway, so yeah, 2-0 win for Fulham. I think they're going to win. I really worry about Wolves because they were quite an established Premier League side, and just this season they're just being so terrible, and I really do worry about them, and I just don't see it getting any better. I think they're going to have some really good games at home, but then I just don't trust them away or at home. But I feel like if they were going to win a game, if they had to win a game, I think it would be at home, not away. Anyway, next game is Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. So let's start with Nottingham Forest since they're their home team. Now, they lost last week 2-0 to Bournemouth. I think they kept it close. They conceded directly from a corner, an Olympic goal. Well, a goal from Kluivert, I think it was. Let me just double check. Yeah, no, it wasn't Kluivert. It was Marcus Tavernier. What a goal. From the corner. And then, obviously, the Frenchman, Coupi, I think his name is, has scored as well. Obviously, let's go to Manchester United now. Manchester United won 4-2 at Old Trafford. Obviously, Forest, they did have that impressive win against Porto at home. I think I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised if Forest get a 1-1 draw here. I know we want to win 5 games in a row so the United Strand can get his haircut. I'm going to say Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1. You can call me biased, but I feel like we just been I think we're fired up. I think we have momentum now. I could see us losing to Forest, as well. But I just feel like I'm gonna be very nervous for this game because after this game we have United have what's it called? They have Tottenham away as well, and that's gonna be our hardest game of the season. So so far, Anfield away was also a pretty hard game as well. So yeah, I think we're going to do it. Tottenham versus Chelsea. Interesting. Tottenham won 3-0 against Everton away at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. And then Chelsea lost. They lost 2-1 to Sunderland at home. So Chelsea are not in a good situation right now. Tottenham are in a better situation. The thing is, Chelsea can score goals, but they're not sound defensively. Tottenham are more defensive, but they don't score that many goals. Well, they scored 3 goals against Everton away, so that's pretty impressive. But still, I don't want to touch in this game too much because I do want to get on. I want to move on, and stuff. You know what? I'm gonna go with a 2 draw here. I think it's gonna be quite a close game. I think Spurs will be winning, and then Chelsea will equalize, and then I just gonna think it's gonna end in the draw. Now, Liverpool take on Aston Villa. Now Liverpool obviously lost 3-2 away at Brentford, and then Villa got a very impressive win at home against Manchester City. So it's really 50. I've seen some people predict an Aston Villa win. What do I think is going to happen in this game? Since it's at Anfield, it is at Anfield. I really want Villa to win, but I'm going to have to go with a 1-1 draw here. Interesting. I think they would. I don't. I think they will. I think they will stop losing, but I think their win, their losing streak will end here. But I don't know for the rest of the season. They are 7th, so that's kind of shocking. Now, also this depends on what happens in today's match. They play Crystal Palace at home in the Carabao Cup, so anything can happen here. But I think it's gonna be a 1-0 draw. Now let's go on to West Ham versus Newcastle United. I'm very worried about West Ham. Generally, I am quite worried because they're not. They for years now they were established. They were an established Premier League side, and heck, they European champions as well. They won the Conference League. They won the second ever Conference League. So that's impressive. And the downfall of this club was amazing. You know what? Now that I think about it, ever since Declan Rice left, they've been a bit dodgy recently. Even last season, they survived relegation, but they weren't even that good as well. I know we lost both times to them, and I think that 2-0 win at Old Trafford was the biggest game of the season because I think that helped them stay up last season. I think. What do I think is going to happen in this game? I'm going to say it's going to be a 1-2 win for Newcastle because Newcastle obviously got that good, an impressive win, a very good win at St James's Park against Fulham. I think Newcastle are getting back into form. So yeah, I think it's gonna. I think Newcastle are going to score the 2 goals, but then West Ham are going to score late on, and it's going to be like very dodgy, very nervy. But I think Man City, yeah. Newcastle will get the job done. Speaking of Man City, the next game is Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth are currently in 2nd place in the Premier League. They got a very good win against Nottingham Forest at home. Very big points there. And then also you have Man City, who lost away at Villa. So this is going to be quite an interesting game. Now, this is why I found out about that I know Man City. This is something that I've learned about them. If Haaland has a good game, they win. If Haaland doesn't have a good game, then they don't win. So it all depends if Haaland shows up for this game. And I think back in the day, if Rodri was in the team, they win. If Rodri wasn't in the team, they lose, or they didn't play well. But now it feels like if Haaland plays, I feel like now that the most important player is Haaland, and if they don't have Haaland, then I just don't know I don't think Man City are stable anymore. You know what? I'm gonna go with a pretty bold prediction here. I'm gonna say Manchester City 2, Bournemouth 2. I feel like Bournemouth are a hard team to beat this season, and I don't think they will lose this game because I think they just have the quality to go at Man City and get a result. So yeah, and the last game of match day 10, whatever. Yeah, it is Sunderland versus Everton. Now, Everton obviously got a loss at their own stadium, at the Heroes Dickinson Stadium, to Tottenham, and Sunderland got a very impressive 2-1 win away at Stamford Bridge. Wasn't expecting it. Who do I think is going to win this game? I want to do this quickly. I think Sunderland are going to win 2-1. So guys, before we go, let's calculate all these results and see what happens. So after match day 10, this is what it looks like. Arsenal first. Let's do this like that. Arsenal first, Sunderland second, Bournemouth third, Manchester United fourth, Tottenham fifth, Manchester City sixth, Liverpool seventh, Aston Villa eighth, Chelsea ninth, Newcastle 10th, Brighton 11th, Crystal Palace 12th, Brentford 13th, Fulham 14th, Everton 15th, Leeds 16th, Burnley 17th, and Forest 18th, West Ham 19th, and obviously Wolves 20th. So guys, that is going to be match day 10 predictions. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Destroy the subscribe button. We're trying to get 100 subscribers before the end of the year. And also guys, I'm going to be doing a remember when I did my Premier League prediction video at the beginning, before the end of the season, you know, I said I was going to do a forfeit. I'm actually going to change that forfeit now. I'm going to change it. I'm not going to completely change it. I'm going to modify it slightly. I'm not going to say it now because I haven't thought on how I'm going to modify it. But I just think it needs a little bit of changing after what we've been seeing in the Premier League. So I had a brain. I froze for a second. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and peace out.